And we are live for this Total OS open chat for this fine Monday evening.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
And we are live for this.
Someone turn off their speakers feedback.
I forgot to turn off the show. Oops. Sorry.
It's always been. It's always been.
Yeah, I forgot to.
So Matt is rocking with Ubuntu.
Whoa.
I feel like I should do the Rocky theme. Da, 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 do, Ubuntu, do, do, do.
Yeah. I might jump on the Ubuntu bandwagon myself.
There is no substitute for stability, is there?
I turned nightlight off and it just got like 10 times brighter in this room.
Whoa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sam, hello, Sam. You don't see a video? We are on. I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't see one either. Okay, I don't know what's up, man. No, Spatchy, Firefox does not work with Firefox.
Hey, Dan.
Hey, Danny boy. How are you? Your mic is
You don't
muted,
care.
Dan. I cannot hear you.
Hey.
How's that?
That's a little
we can hear
better.
you.
The button didn't take.
Oh, boy. Welcome to the stream of experts.
I did push it. I just didn't look at it to see that it stopped
Okay.
blinking.
Got it. Okay. So it's been a while since we've done an open chat.
Yeah.
So I figure I had some time this evening. So welcome everybody here in the chat room. Joel, hello. Greetings from New York. From
Yeah.
New York, living in the great state of Texas. Aha. That's quite a switch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's get switched. Speaking of switch, let's get switch in here.
Oops, 2 minutes.
I almost forgot his name. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, Spatry is right. We are working on another Manjaro couple Linux. Yeah.
If anybody hasn't already checked out MeWe, check it out. It's awesome. The Facebook alternative so far, it seems to work pretty good. I like it.
I'm getting emails from people I don't even know asking me to friend with them.
On MeWe?
Yeah, well, not on MeWe, in my email box.
Oh, that I don't know. If
they
it's
want me
on
to
MeWe, then I just accept them. I just, I figure they're there for a reason for Linux or technology.
I don't have MeWe. There are people trying to get me to join MeWe and
Oh, I
be
see.
with them.
No, Spatchy, it's not PP.
And I don't know them, though.
Okay. See what happens when you spend too much time with Arch-based Linux? Your mind goes. Love you, Spat.
Oh, God, that's too funny, Spatry.
Spatry, try MeWe. You might like it. You immediately leave social that friend me unsolicited. Well, Sam, hang on a second. I thought I sent you one. Maybe I did not. Wait a minute. Hang on, Sam. There you go. All right.
What?
Check it now, Sam. We'll get started here in
Oh,
a
my
minute.
word.
Lamer, welcome.
Oh, no.
You had some time this bedtime for Spatry. Okay, Spatry. I know you need to rest your mind.
Oh, my word. I'm just looking through my Facebook, and one of these guys said, why the U.S. military can't upgrade from XP. I'm like, oh, my God.
Spatry does poop out at about 9 to 9:30.
Yeah.
Yeah, the AUR will do that to you.
Yeah, so we're waking up at 5 in the morning.
Yeah, that'll do that too. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
for sure.
What? Okay, so this is even worse. Apple sued over fatal fire allegedly caused by defective iPad.
Okay.
Where did that come from? Hi, Sam. Yeah, so apparently there was a fire caused by a defective iPad.
Was it one of those iPads that was bent in half from the factory, so the battery ruptured and caught on fire?
No, it was a perfectly okay iPad. It just
Well, according to Apple, the ones that are bent in half are still perfectly okay. So
yeah, I'm reading
You
the
just use it
article.
for a shoehorn.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the ticker feed. According to the UK, Facebook is a law-breaking digital gangster.
It is.
Good one.
Goodness me.
Yeah.
Good one. I like that. I like that. Yeah.
And I was going through the software center, and I forget the name of the app now, but I was scrolling through and it said privacy-focused Facebook Messenger. And I'm like, wait a minute. Privacy-focused Facebook? Am I reading that correctly here?
Privacy focus.
I dropped a
Are you sure the word was focus and privacy F us Facebook?
Yeah.
The privacy-focused Facebook?
Privacy-focused Facebook.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what it is. Yeah. No, I really am enjoying the MIUI. It works. Yeah.
I
it's
haven't
really
found
nice.
it
Yeah.
yet.
I got a new case in the mail for my iPad, Ben.
Yeah.
Case, very good.
Yeah.
Well, the cases wear out before the iPad does, so.
Yeah, I'm looking at
okay.
the article here. It says Apple is being sued by a woman whose husband died from injuries caused by a fire allegedly started by a defective iPad. The fire took place back in February 2017. It was reported caused by defect in the subject tablet, specifically affecting the subject's battery pack.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm
The
actually
lawsuit-
surprised that these kinds of incidents don't happen more often because they all use, like all smartphones and tablets and everything, they use lithium polymer batteries.
Right.
And these are the most
And,
unstable batteries on the planet. So
right,
I'm surprised incidents like these don't happen more often, to be honest with you.
That's why they
They
don't want them on
probably
airplanes.
do. We just don't hear that much about them.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever
Okay,
seen
so-
what happens to a lithium polymer battery if you poke a nail in it?
Yeah.
What happens?
It explodes into a giant fireball is what happens.
Right.
Actually,
Yeah,
it burnt a hole
it's-
through my apartment floor in my old apartment
Wow.
because of a LiPo battery.
So
I
if
was
you need to start a
charging-
barbecue, just grab a lithium battery
Well,
and punch it out.
the battery was charging and I was at my computer. It was on the table,
Wow.
like back here somewhere. And I'm like, you smell something? And I looked back and the charger was melting. Something had shorted out in the charger. So I unplugged the battery real quick and it was swollen. And I'm like, "Ugh," and then it just started hissing gas and it just went poof into a giant fireball. And then, of course, I just threw it across the room. It lands in the middle of the living room and it's burning a hole through the floor.
You should have thrown it out the window.
My friend is standing there just drinking a beer, and he's just standing here like this. And
Battery defenestration.
and I run and get the fire extinguisher, and the burning battery is between me and him. So I blast the fire extinguisher, and I look up, and he's still just standing here like this, covered head to toe in fire extinguisher.
Oh, them things make a big mess, too.
It was hilarious.
Windows users watching this, we're usually not this crazy. Okay, just want to let you know.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets worse.
Yeah.
Yep. It gets way worse.
Okay, so yeah, apparently she sued them for product liability, strict liability, wrongful death, and survival action are the claims against Apple.
Did somebody die from this incident?
Yes, her husband died from this problem.
That's sad. Yeah.
Yeah.
That,
And then
that's
it says, with no more detail about the case, we won't speculate on the circumstances that led to this sad story. No iPad have been recalled or reported as being a large-scale battery problem, meaning that this was seemingly a one-off incident. Both iPhone and iPad batteries rely on lithium-ion, which can explode or catch on fire on rare occasion.
You guys hear me now?
Due to a manufacturing fault or because of
Yes.
damage that causes the battery.
Arch wanted to stop. Had to switch to mint.
so.
I just switched to Mint, eh?
Yeah.
So it's actually not that uncommon, but this is a rare occurrence because somebody died from it. That's
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
This can be due to a manufacturing default or because of the damage that causes the battery electrodes to touch. In some cases, dodgy third-party chargers have also caused phones to explode these faults.
We need a next generation battery. That's what we need.
Right.
You know,
Last
it's,
year-
Well, the more you
after
ask
25
out,
years,
the
you
more
know.
unstable.
All right.
All right.
I'm going to be muting the camera on and off a little bit. I'm still having dinner. But we were talking about lithium batteries. This is what happens when you drop a on-fire lithium battery on your carpet.
Ooh.
God, Tom.
Yeah, I was just telling the story about when that happened to me, and it actually burnt a hole like that big in the apartment floor.
It went downstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk
and-
about
Tom,
ugly.
Well, I was telling them that my friend was there, and he had a beer in his hand, and the battery landed between me and him. So I sprayed the fire extinguisher, and it went like all over him. It was hilarious.
yeah. Yeah,
And
Tom.
because we're renting the apartment, because it's a rental property, we had this big scored burn mark in the floor. So I cut it out, and then I went in the back of the closet and cut out an equally sized square and kind of just kind of put it in place. And nobody ever said anything about it. So
Until now.
Yeah.
It was funny. It was
Yeah,
funny.
Tom, Ricky, what you guys missed when you walked in was the fact that there was a woman's husband who got killed by a burning iPad.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Well,
I
the
posted the
batteries-
link to the story inside the Hangout chat. So
The batteries in these like the burn and blow up too. So
yeah.
Batteries and what?
ones that do
Oh,
that.
batteries here! Oh my god.
Battery.
Greetings, Patrick. How are you?
Right.
Working.
Oh, hey,
Everything's working,
battery.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yep.
we can hear you.
Yes.
Yes.
How's it going, Patrick?
Hey, Spatry.
I figured I'd pop in. I mean, you've got my Manjaro Cup of Linux Edition developers on your show. So I figured I'd hijack your show, talk about the next release of MCall.
How's it going?
Well, look, that's their decision. I didn't lasso them in, you know.
Well, Spatry's
Yeah, we
nice
just-
talking.
Oh,
Yes, you did. You emailed everybody links, and they emptied out of my Mumble server to come hang out with you.
Oh,
You
well, I
took over
didn't know.
game
I didn't
night.
know they were
And
on to that your Mumble server.
And you muscled in on my game night too.
Hey,
Hi, Dan.
hey,
Hi.
hey, show some respect here to Godfather Carmine, okay?
That was special. That was to promote a Ubuntu thing.
Yes.
Exactly.
I don't usually bail on game night unless it's to promote a Linux distro.
Well, I don't game that much anyway, so.
Well, the game was bugging out anyway. It was doing some weird stuff. So.
Bugging out on Manjaro? Come on, impossible.
Well, what do you expect? It's a beta.
I mean, I couldn't even log in. I was having problems.
Well,
with
I
my
finished second place in the race, and it said I won. And then the same thing happened to
Oh.
Yeah, and their servers were being so darn slow, I couldn't even get a password reset link until later that night.
Well, that's not because the servers are slow. That's because you don't know how to use it.
Well, I mean, I figured it out. It was
I was
just
the
like,
one
my
running the
internet was
server.
being so shitty, I couldn't even get a link.
Welcome all here in the live chat room. If we have any newbies out there, it's your first time, please do say hello.
Oh, no. Today I'm going to talk about how to join files in the terminal.
Oh, God.
Just ignore the guy from the
Linux?
south, way south.
Today we're going to discuss just how easy Linux is. Let's start by opening up a terminal and running cat to join
Yes.
several MP3 files.
Open up a terminal and type goodbye, Spat.
Yeah, that goes all the way back to DOS, doesn't it?
Well, unfortunately, that wouldn't work very well. As a matter of fact, I don't think you know any terminal commands, do you, DOS?
Yeah, I love the Orlando International Airport terminal. It's wonderful.
How about LX?
I think you're talking about the wrong terminal there, Toss.
I was actually using terminal tonight to update my other machine. So yeah.
What did you type into it?
Help me. Oh, what is it? Sudo apt-get dist upgrade, something like that, right? Something like
Actually, I see a lot of people still using apt-get, and that's actually no longer the recommended method.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Aptitude.
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 They came out with apt in 2014, and then they combined apt cache and apt get into apt, and now you
Right.
just type apt. and it's not dist upgraded anymore. It's sudo apt full.
I thought it was aptitude, Matthew.
The apt is short.
Don't confuse me anymore, okay?
Aptitude. I thought it was aptitude.
I didn't know about the dist upgrade.
See,
Now.
that just goes to show you how long it's been since I've run an Ubuntu-based distribution.
I saw that on one of the forums.
Now, the old commands all still work, but the recommended method is to use apt and
got it.
Git.
Yeah, because apt-get and apt-cache are pretty much deprecated at this point.
Yeah, they are.
Okay, one question. What I did, is it safe to use?
For now, but eventually you're probably going to need to learn the apt commands as opposed to apt-get commands.
Got it. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. Nothing wrong with that.
Hey,
I use what works.
Hey, Toss, the command you need to learn next is sudo rmrf, because that's what Switch used to kill Deepin.
Hey, man. I got an elementary with that once too, though.
Well, it doesn't work without no preserve root, so you got to do that.
Yeah, you do have to do that. So, yeah, absolutely. I mean, or the next one you need to learn, Toss, is Pacman-S.
I like the idea that that Matthew had said was to just remotely drop into Secure Shell and run a cron job that tells your computer to reboot every 5 minutes.
That sounds like Windows updates. That's what it sounds like. Wash, rinse, and repeat. Right?
Speaking about Windows, I actually
reboot.
10 installed without even buying it.
Say again, Dan?
I actually got Windows 10 to work without even buying it.
Oh,
yeah,
I know how that works.
Yeah, you don't have to have a license key.
You don't have to buy it. If you have the free version when they were giving it out for free, you can install that and it'll go to a point and it'll stop.
Yes.
But if you have a key number from like Windows 8 or 8.1 and you put that number in, it'll take it and install it right up to all its latest update.
You can upgrade.
Let me get you guys in on a very important lesson.
That's not entirely true either, because if you're on 1804 LTS and then you upgrade in place to 1804.1 or 0.2, you don't get the new kernels or Xorg apps. You have to use the hardware enablement stack to get those packages. But if you installed the new ISO of 1804.1 or 0.2...
We're talking about Windows 10.
Right, but what I wanted to illustrate is you have an operating system that costs, what, about $150, and they decide to just give it to the entire community for free. That should have set off red flags all over the world. But no, everybody...
I'm going to be the first to get my...
I have
Unless
up in a virtual machine.
Unless they change something, you can actually use Windows 10 without a license key. You just can't customize it, ergo you can't turn off all the telemetry.
You can
So if
also
you were willing to give Microsoft absolutely everything, you can actually run Windows without telemetry or without a key.
Without a key, you don't get major upgrades, though. That's the only thing.
Oh, it's not the case? Okay.
You can also still upgrade older versions.
If you got a Windows 10 or Windows 8, you got a Windows 7 or 8 key, and you put it in, it will activate it.
Yep.
For now, until January 14th, that's going to stop working.
It's going to stop working, or you're not going to be able to do it anymore?
You're not going to be able to do it after January 14th.
Yeah, well...
Well, that was like a couple days ago.
Yeah, well, it's not January 14th yet.
January 14th, 2020.
2020.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 2020.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But see, Windows won't yell at you, so I have my terminal here, and I've modified it to give me password inputs, and if I put in the wrong password, it'll yell at me. See, have you considered trying to match its wits with a rutabaga? See?
God.
Always love aliases.
If I type in the wrong password, it'll just keep insulting me. Sometimes I just do this for fun.
You know, I like the idea that if you type in the password wrong, sorry, we are deleting your Etsy folder now. Mess up again and see what else we delete.
I'd like to see the Big Daddy Linux crew try doing Suicide Linux for a week. See what we get.
It's the Matrix.
Ooh, yeah.
Hey, quit showing all of my command line friendly tricks I'm going to be displaying in the upcoming episodes.
Tricks, it's been around for a while.
I know Moo, but I've never done Seamless.
I gotta put some more command line friendly videos up. I need to get the ball rolling on that, but I had other
Sudo
other
apt-get
stuff, so.
inhale coffee.
Yeah, because last episode we did Star Wars in the terminal, so I gotta figure out something exciting to do in the next episode.
Star Wars in the terminal.
Inhale.
Thus,
Did you see that, Ben? You would have loved that episode.
That'd be Terminal
I've seen that
Wars.
command before.
Oh, you've seen that one then? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. You
Yeah.
were probably the one that showed it to me. That or Matthew did. One of you guys.
Yeah. Star Wars in the TTY.
You see what Dr. 66 says? The king of Linux is on Spatry. I see nobody sitting on Spatry's head. You see anybody?
I guess you could say someone has a terminal illness.
Yeah. Hello, Jan Topper. How are you, sir?
See, the problem with Windows 10 though is it's only free if you don't value your time. I mean, just try to do an install or update it or fix a problem, and you're there for 2 days. You know.
I think the problem with
If
Windows
you use malware 10, there's something wrong with your brain, and you need to get it fixed.
Well, I used it for the last 3 months because I couldn't get anything on Linux to work, and then after 3 months on Windows, nothing on Windows would work.
Well,
on Ubuntu, and now everything
if I have to use Windows, I download one of the Windows 7 Enterprise virtual machine appliances, load that up to the virtual machine, run my Windows application, and then when I'm done, delete it. You know, I mean, disposable Windows, gotta love it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a regular installation in VirtualBox. When I'm done, you know, I run the Windows program I need to run and then just delete the virtual machine. I keep a backup copy of the image, though, so I can reload it. And on an SSD drive, it takes 2 minutes to install. So
I have a working virtual machine image. Do you want to share it?
Well, I mean, I've got links on the Couple Linux forum. You can go there and download your free copy. Microsoft is giving them away free. You can you can have Windows 7, you can have now Windows 8, malware 10. You know, whatever flavor you want. You know.
All right, I'm back. Dinner is done.
I don't know about Windows 7. They're trying to get that off the table so fast it make your head spin.
Well, Windows 7
thing is it
usage
works.
creeped up last month. So what does that tell you about people
And the thing I
wanting
like
alternative?
about them is they already have the VirtualBox editions and everything. Everything is already in them. So you just load them and then boom, you're ready to go. Use it for what you need to use it for, and then toss it out when you're done.
Extended
Very
support
simple.
ends next year.
Was that
Deny
what
it.
you guys do with your hurricanes down there when they're over? You take out your windows and throw them away?
Exactly.
So Matthew, you got Ubuntu running. How good is it?
It's
Your name's not Matthew.
I'm
Well,
kidding.
on my ancient prehistoric hardware, it's a little laggy, but
Right.
everything's working.
How
Recently
is
I had-
Manjaro working compared to Ubuntu on that old hardware?
doesn't work.
It just doesn't work.
Manjaro strikes again.
I mean,
It won't even boot. But I did have a problem recently.
Well, you had it working last week when you put up a video, so I just had to know.
Well, that's a different computer. That's this one. This one don't work. But
Well,
I
how
did
about
have
the
a
different
problem with a
computer
bunch
then?
of
How's it
recent-
working on that one?
in 1804.1 kernel 415, there was an update about 2 weeks ago that stopped some kernel modules from properly loading with the system. So my Broadcom driver stopped working properly, and I actually had a fix for it, and I was going to do a video tutorial on that. And then 18.04.2 came out and fixed it. So then I had nothing to make a video about. So, but everything is working
Nice.
now on 18.04.2. Everything is working. So.
Henry, this is people want stable, yet they run Arch because the people are unstable, not the Ubuntu system, right?
Well, Arch isn't unstable. I mean, it's just not working.
It depends on what branch you're getting, because the stable branch of Arch, you are actually running stable, but the thing is, it's bleeding edge too.
It's stable,
so you're
as
going to
long
run
as you don't
into
connect it to
Well,
the internet.
out of all the Linux experiences that I've had, I think Arch Linux has given me the best Linux experience. But at the same time, it's also given me the worst. So, it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah. It's like saying, I had this pasta. This had the coldest hot sauce I ever tasted.
Yeah, pretty much. But see, when Arch is working and it's banging on all cylinders, it's fantastic.
Just remember, they called it bleeding edge. Bleed. As in it hurts, cut, bleeds.
Cylinders, it's all fine, but when it throws a rod, look out.
They also call it cutting edge. What happens when you get cut? Ouch.
Well, this is why I'm working with Ben and Matthew right now, because we're trying to put together a version of Manjaro that'll work on legacy hardware, like stuff that Matthew's using and that sort of thing. Because a lot of people can't seem to use the newest configuration that Manjaro has.
So you hire Ben, who's a frying pan master, and Matt, who's had so many things broken to fix things.
Actually, nice. Ben did a very nice job on the last release of MCOL.
Okay.
He did a very nice job on it, and then of course Matthew has also given us some valuable input as well. And so I have every bit of confidence that once we get this put together, we're going to have a version of Manjaro that is going to work for people who want to run Manjaro right now but can't because their hardware is deprecated.
And
okay. And the thing is, there's a lot of computers out there that are capable of running Manjaro, but because of their, they're using a different loader on their live disk, they can't boot the image.
Yeah,
I can't even get it to work properly on new hardware.
I found
we're going to fix that.
Over 98
we're going to fix that.
Yeah, after some research, I found a forum thread with over 98 posts of people all having problems with the Manjaro Grub bootloader. And if you look at the, Patrick found this earlier, if you look at the download numbers, a lot of people are still downloading the latest version of Manjaro before they made that change. So
yes, so it had one disc had close to 900 downloads this week, and the other one had close to 500 downloads just this week alone. So people are downloading these old images and trying to update them.
Yeah, that would indicate that there's a whole lot of people that have this problem.
Yes, yes. So this is something we're working on this week to try and fix, so that we can have a version that will be fairly easy for people to install. Because all the people who want to run Manjaro but can't are using Ubuntu, and we're going to fix that.
Well, thus here I am.
Some people never learn.
Yeah.
I could get the Manjaro to work and stuff by little things like pulse audio bugs.
How long did you use Manjaro, Toss, before you decided to kick it to the curb?
2016.
Yeah, but how long did you use it? About a month, 2 months?
No, I used it that summer. Remember, you wanted me to take the challenge, and I did fairly. It was a full install, and I think it was that summer, 2-3 months, something like that.
Okay. And why did you stop using it?
The bugs finally got to me in the end, I'll be quite honest. I was fixing this.
Okay, did you have the Arch Linux keyring problem, or what was it?
I'll be honest, everything started after I turned on the AUR. That's all that I remember.
Okay.
And then you know what? It slowed down. Updates, it would not update. Some of the software, it's.
You probably needed to change your mirrors, which would have been very easy to do. Swap out the mirrors, a simple little command, do that. Or using the GUI, you could have done that as well. You could have just swapped out the mirrors. Okay, maybe you had during that time there were some Arch Linux keyring issues. We had some commands that you could just throw in.
If it was just one or two things, but it just got progressively like, I give up. I just give up. So.
Okay, but the thing is, the front page of the Manjaro website, when they have troublesome updates, they have information on the page that tells you what you need to do.
And I remember at that time the Manjaro help page, the website was bad. It was not good. That was the last straw, I believe, back then.
I was often using the Arch Wiki to fix Manjaro problems because I could find solutions there easier than I could on the
I haven't had any issues with that in so long now. It's been, I think it's been 2 years since I had a problem.
I knew I was in trouble when I popped in a music CD and it wouldn't play. That should have been the warning of warnings.
It's been about 2 years since I've been able to get it to work, so.
Also, audio does not work very well in Manjaro.
Yeah, it's
Well, we're gonna fix that. Mark my words.
I don't have those issues with Ubuntu based. I just don't.
When I shut this machine off, every volume level is set and saved where I left it. And when I restart the machine, I don't have all my volume levels all screwed up.
Well, that always happens in Linux.
In my opinion, if you are a beginner, anything that's labeled cutting edge and now bleeding, stay away. Just don't get started with that because you'll be disappointed.
Or
you'll
join
say,
us at cupoflinux.com and we will help you.
Yes, and lose your sanity even at a higher degree.
I would agree with Toss more because if we're trying to get a person to switch over to Linux, the last thing we want them doing is, even if you have the friendliest Manjaro community, people still don't want to go to a community to help fix their issues. But Ubuntu, unfortunately, doesn't have any real issues. I mean, actually, maybe fortunately.
I would disagree.
That's not true.
I would disagree with that because, in my experience, I have had more problems with Ubuntu than any other distro.
Yeah, and to be fair, I don't run Ubuntu personally. I run Linux Mint. I don't have it.
And along that same vein, I had the same problems with Broadcom on Ubuntu that Matthew's having now, and it was driving me nuts. You know, and I went through page after page after page after page. Finally got a solve on it, but couldn't get the best performance out of the thing either. You know,
another reason I like Mint. It just doesn't have quite as many updates to break things.
Mint
Once
is
it's
good
working,
too.
I push updates.
I mean, it's like a lot of things. It's a double-edged sword. With a point-release distro like Ubuntu, if you install it and something's broken, well, you got to wait 6 months or 9 months or whatever for the next.
Or figure out a fix, and then it won't break.
It's like a lot of things.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. This is a 10-year release now, right?
5 free, 5 paid, right?
Yeah. 1804 is 10 years as opposed to 5.
5 free, 5 paid, or 10 free?
No, it's
10.
5 free, from what I read.
1804 is 10 years.
5 years free.
Supported till April 2028.
Yeah, 1804 has 10 years support. It was announced in November.
Right.
Okay, but Toss is saying 5
I don't
free,
think it's all free tour. I don't think after the 5 years it's free. I don't think
10 years before the 2038 bug.
So, yeah. Either way, it's good.
I wouldn't want to run a 10-year-old distro anyway.
Yeah. 5
Yeah.
years is about right.
Yeah. The thing about Linux, like I can do that on a server, but as far as a desktop, probably not. You know?
And that is the only attraction, running it as a server. But you know, for my server, I'm using Debian for that.
Yeah, I use Debian if I'm building the servers up, either Debian or Ubuntu, depending on what the application is for. But of course, most of my stuff I use Cent because I do cPanels for clients. So.
Yeah.
Well, hence why we need a national
awesome.
standard desktop.
For snaps and the 10-year life cycle and how easy it is to introduce other packages without breaking it. 1804 Ubuntu is an attractive choice for server deployment right now. It really is. But you know, it's all subject to change. You know, a couple years, something else might come out that'd be better.
Yeah, I had back Ubuntu 1604, the last one with Unity. I had it on 2 machines. Man, they were both flawless. I mean, I was stunned. You know.
Yeah, 1604 is still supported until 2020.
You're right. I mean, I was really surprised just how everything just clicked. I mean, it was awesome. So Canonical can do it. Yeah.
The Unity desktop was always crashing on me, and always had bugs on it. Yeah.
It was probably hardware specific. It has to, because it was fine on my Lenovo, my Gateway machine. So
you know, that is one desktop that was inappropriately named because Unity is supposed to be bringing people together, not causing.
Excuse me, it brought me together.
I thought Unity was just fine.
Yeah, Unity was fine.
Unity caused so much division in the Linux community.
Well, remember when GNOME 3 first came out with Unity? Yeah, I know.
Like being drawn and quartered. Snap.
Yeah.
I did like Unity. It wasn't stable on my system.
Yeah.
I liked Unity, but I like GNOME better.
Yeah.
Unity was all right though.
My main issue with GNOME is its performance issue. It has some performance issues.
It's a hog.
Yeah. Well,
it is. And
Steve, it brought people together to hate on Unity.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but the upcoming 3.32 release of GNOME is supposed to fix that.
That's what I
problem.
read. That's what I read. If they can boost it, man, it'll be awesome.
Well, the issue is graphics lag. Painting of the desktop. When you're moving windows around, you get a lot of stutter. But they claim that they have fixed that by making some change to some backend library in the 3.32 release.
Right.
I have an interesting question, and if anybody knows this, I would be interested in knowing the answer. But we all know that Compiz powered Unity, okay, and that was the 09 series, all right? Now we know that Debian has picked up the Compiz Reloaded set, and now they're offering that in their repos. So what's going to happen with Compiz and Ubuntu? Are they switching over to the 0816 series now, or are they still going to improve on the 09 series, which pretty much dumbed down Compiz and
I don't know
all the features that made it great?
I haven't
Whereas
seen anything
the
on
0816 Compiz is bringing in all of the really cool features that never even got to see the light of day. And I hear some of these keyboards.
I know,
really
Sam.
Loud.
Is it you? Let's try. Yeah.
Might want to mute when you're typing there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But at any rate, yeah. So I'm just interested in knowing what's going to be happening with that, because we see that Compiz is starting to get some new life breathed into it, and I'm wondering if we're going to start seeing that.
I don't know. They have. I go to the blogs.
They're pulling off of Debian.
I don't know. That I don't know. Yeah. I'm more interested in the performance, speeding it up, like Matt says, because if they can speed it up, I already got a couple extensions installed that don't crash. It's awesome. If they can speed it up, man, I'm telling you, a National Ubuntu desktop that's fast, that's somewhat customizable, that won't crash for $400, it'll sell. It'll sell. People are fed up with Windows 10. People are sticking with Windows 7. Windows 7 usage creeped up last month. What does that tell you?
2 new desktops are coming out. Matthew and I were talking about, what were those called? One of them?
You have the Flurry desktop, which looks nice.
Which looks beautiful. And then what was the other one?
The one that you liked was the one that shipped with the Extern OS release. Their own desktop.
Yes. Yeah, that one looks really nice too. And I might have to download the distro and see if I can nick that desktop off just to have a look at it.
There was a great deal on Amazon. There was a great deal on a brand new Chromebook touchscreen. Chromebook, a brand new model for like $220, which is a steal, I think, for a touchscreen laptop.
I don't know if I'll get another Chromebook after this one, because I got to notice that Google is going to be dropping support for the one that I have in 4 months.
So how old is your machine?
And how long have you had that? 3 or 4 years?
Yeah, but the problem is that they're forcing you to replace it, which, you know, I want to buy hardware because I want to, not
so
because
you're saying they're gonna remotely hit the kill switch on your product and it doesn't run anymore.
It'll run, but there's not going to be any more updates after in April. So
if it's less than 5 years old, I would say that's wrong. If it's 5 years old or more, I see their point.
Well, they are, but see, they do these things also where they release new features.
Yeah.
Where you have to get the new Chromebook if you want this feature or that feature, and then they arbitrarily just cut support for the old ones. They run very nice, but I hate that planned obsolescence, so I probably won't be buying another one.
They're taking a page from Apple's playbook.
Yeah, you know, you're probably better off getting something cheap. Like on the Facebook Marketplace, somebody has one of those HP Stream 11s, which is a decent machine, for $40. It needs a new battery. A battery costs $37 for battery. So you buy the machine for $40, you put a $37 battery in it, you slap Linux on it, you got a computer.
If I was going to get a Chromebook, I'd get the Pixelbook. I want the best of the best to get the full-blown, what they call flawless Linux experience.
Yeah, my next computer for the flawless Linux experience.
There's a lot better computers that I could get for $1,000.
My next computer is going to be another Lenovo ThinkPad. I love this machine.
ThinkPads are good.
And yeah,
ThinkPads
and
are good.
Lenovo makes computers that run Linux well. So
yes, they do.
All right, guys. I get up early in the morning, so that's why I fizzle out.
All right, buddy.
So I'm going to call it a night. Thank you, all of you.
And
take
care, Patrick. Thanks. Yeah.
And keep fighting the good fight with Ubuntu.
Thanks for dropping in.
Yeah,
Hey,
nice.
we'll see you, Patrick.
Yeah, and are you going to join us for game night this week or no?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, me. I usually do. This is the first week I've skipped in months.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm allowed one free pass once in a while.
Jeez. I feel like I'm back in grade school. Well, Bobby says I didn't have to go.
That's okay.
It was extremely
okay.
important to help promote
You missed out on the 10 free copies of Metro
Oh.
that I gave away.
I'll lose sleep tonight on that.
Now, when you create a Manjaro show and you want to run that, or maybe I'll guest on that and blow someone else off for a while.
Believe me, we are going to have a show once we get the new MCOL builds done. So
don't expect me to know anything about it.
Oh, believe me, we're going to give you a copy to try out so that you can have something to say about it.
Oh, I can do that. I do have some. I have some extra drives. I can put it to real metal.
Oh, absolutely, because we're gonna
Got
need
one
some
right
people.
here. Can plug it right in.
Well, I need people with legacy hardware and BIOS-based systems to try it out because that's what we're targeting.
This is a parallel port drive. I got a device right here. I plug it right in, and it works like a.
I
SATA
don't
drive.
care if you use it to power a watermelon. Just.
All I gotta say for the night is I love
symbol if
ArchDev.
you have to. You know, hey.
I agree, Ricky.
Linux-powered potato somebody had on YouTube some time ago. Remember that?
I'll even try to game on it.
Oh, God.
All right. Good night, folks.
Take care.
Thanks, Battery.
Night.
See you later.
Well, hey, I always found that Archbase is best for gaming. That's my opinion. That's my opinion.
Yeah, you're probably right, considering the bleeding edge
Arch
nature
Linux
of it.
has always been my favorite distro when it was working. That's the key.
Yeah.
The problem is that it hasn't really worked in a while, but I have, in computer terms, ancient hardware, like prehistoric.
Yeah.
So that's why we're having a lot of issues with it now.
I tried. I really wanted to love Manjaro, but it wouldn't love me back.
Yeah, we had the same problem.
I tried, man. It was a full install, and I'm patient. I mean, I'm not a newbie anymore, but I
what
did try. One thing would break, fix this, solve that. You know what? Forget about it.
Well,
That's what I said.
That's what frustrates me the most about Manjaro, because on paper it has the potential to be an absolutely fantastic distro, but in practice it just isn't, and that isn't really the fault of Manjaro. I put the blame on the developers, because there are things in Manjaro that are completely broken that are just not a problem in regular Arch Linux. And if Manjaro is based on Arch Linux, then the developers are doing something to screw it up.
Yeah.
So I completely put the blame on them. So, they really need to fix it. That's really all there is to it. So, but it's disappointing, because when I was using, out of all the distributions that I used over the years, that one stayed on my computer the longest. So I was a fan, but when it started going wrong and the developers started ignoring the cries from the users, that was it. I had to go somewhere else.
Manjaro needs Ubuntu stability.
Yeah.
It's that simple. It's for all the. I mean, nothing's perfect.
Well,
Granted,
the booting problem that I'm having, there's a 98-page long thread about it.
Wow.
Other people having the problem. The head developer commented once. His solution was, well, just install an older version, and then he closed the thread. So that's how much the developers are.
Are those forums still?
Yeah, but see, when if that's all the effort they put into fixing a problem that affects, you know, a good chunk of their users like that,
why should I try it? Why should I try? Right? Yeah.
Right. It doesn't give you
devs are lazy
developers because they act like they don't care. You know, we're going to do it our way, and if you don't want to do it our way,
one thing about the Ubuntu forums, man, they're terrific. Both Ubuntu Mate, they are solid in my opinion.
Well, my problem with the Ubuntu forums is you have a lot of Me Too people in there, people that are saying, "Oh yeah, I have that problem too," but not really offering any solutions.
I haven't come across that personally. I've come across solved. Where it says solved, yeah.
I don't know. I've actually used the Arch Wiki multiple times to correct problems I was having in Ubuntu.
Okay.
So
because
I mean, you don't even have to be an Arch user, but their wiki and their documentation is unmatched. So if you have any kind of technical issue going on, Arch is rolling release. They might have already seen it. So.
Yeah, I was going to say
usually one of the first to fix it too.
Yeah, I've done that with Ubuntu in the past where, oh, well, Manjaro had that kernel like 6 months ago. Let's go look at their and they had the problem. They fixed it already, and you could apply it to yours, you know.
Yeah, because I'll say this: a few weeks ago, I had an issue with an Arch update. There was a package called X265 or something. I think it was a media codex or something, and it was going to break FFmpeg because the FFmpeg hadn't updated their dependencies to the newer version of this other package. And so I put that package on the ignore list, updated the rest of the system, and it went by just fine. Now, that same day, FFmpeg updated their dependency list, and it was going to break because I put the other package on the ignore list. So I pulled it out of the ignore list, and it went by just fine. So keep that in mind that the only issue I ever had, they fixed the same day that it went went through.
That's what I was saying a little while ago. Like the issue with point release distros like Ubuntu is if something is broken, you might have to wait months or 9 months for the next version to come out before it's fixed for you. In Arch, I've had stuff fixed within the hour on Arch. I've made bug reports, spoken directly with developers, and within a couple hours they email me back, here, try this, and then it's fixed, and then it ends up in the repo.
Well, you can get similar fixes though for Ubuntu. Well, you can get similar fixes for Ubuntu and stuff like that. It's not going to show up in the repos probably, but you can usually hunt down and parrot out the solutions.
Yeah, that's true, but I've found it a lot easier to have direct communication with the package maintainer.
Until it tells you to RTFM, and then you get frustrated and leave.
You just got to know how to talk to these people. That's all it is. So, but I've had a much.
We're not all developers who know how to talk to the people. This is part of engaging in the regular population with business is knowing how to communicate with people without everybody being developers. That's all important stuff.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, in my experience, I've had a much easier time solving problems running Arch than I have with other distros. Because you have that direct line to the package maintainers and they have excellent documentation. See, I love the Arch experience. That's part of the Arch experience. I like the package manager. I like the way the system is constructed. I like the community around it. I know it's controversial to some, but the problem is it's breaking all the time. That's the downside. And when it breaks, you're the one that has to fix it. That's where the problem is with Arch. But when Arch is running 100% without problems, it's the best distro that you can use.
It just seems like things break less in Ubuntu or Linux, man. They just seem like it. I don't.
Well, that's why I'm using it now because, like, I was having problems with Manjaro. I got frustrated. Antergos wouldn't work. Arch got to where it wouldn't boot. It would boot up with some garbled text, which I know now is a kernel issue with the legacy NVIDIA card. And, you know, I was having all these problems, and I just got frustrated. I went back to Windows 10 for about 3 months. I started having network issues on Windows 10, and that was just way worse than anything I was having in Linux.
So if it wasn't for the networking, Windows 10 was perfectly fine.
Yeah, so after having those problems with the network in Windows, I'm like, well, let's put Debian on there. Let's see what Debian does. Debian worked, but there was some kind of weird update where they're going from Xrender to GFX or something in the XFCE. So now I have screen tearing everywhere. So I'm like, oh, well, let's just go up one level to Ubuntu and see what's going on in the Ubuntu world. And I put Ubuntu on here. Everything's working. There's no issues at all. So I just kept it on here.
Yeah.
So And when it breaks, I'll try something else. But so far, it's working. So
well, that's why I reinstalled Ubuntu on my other machine because it's a little bit. It's not zippy, but is it stable? It just is. It just works. I don't have to fix things or solve.
And I ended up putting it on all of my computer. All of my computers right now are on 1804.2.
How many computers do you have, Matt?
2 laptops and a desktop for me, and then my wife has a laptop and a Chromebook and a laptop.
All 1804?
No, she has Windows 10 on her laptop, but she has Ubuntu on the other laptop.
Okay. All right.
So,
yeah, from my experience, like some of the older distributions or the older versions of software, it can be stable, but I've noticed that I've been like, sometimes I would get stuck with a bug for a longer period.
Yeah, that happened.
I bet Matt's situation is not the only person with that, because I have multiple machines with Ubuntu and it's fine. Matt has, 3-4 machines with Ubuntu. Now, multiply that by potentially thousands or millions of users out there, where Ubuntu just the word. Yeah, it may not be their favorite desktop environment's a little slow. They would prefer this and that. Yeah. But is it stable? For the most part, it is. It is.
That's my opinion. Ubuntu is not my favorite distro. Far from. Manjaro is, but it's the most broken.
Okay. So it's your favorite now because it works. Basically.
Yeah, I'm using Ubuntu because it's working. It's not my favorite distro. GNOME. I'm starting to like GNOME. It's growing on me.
Which desktop are you using?
I'm using the stock GNOME on Ubuntu.
Did you try a couple extensions?
Okay. GNOME is starting to grow on me. I am starting to like it with the online account integration. I can put.
It's not that. It's not that bad. It's not my favorite either. But with a couple extensions, it's fine. A couple modifications,
my issue with GNOME is the graphics.
Yeah.
The lagging graphics when you try to move windows around on the desktop.
If they could fix that, man, it's
solid. Canonical
older hardware
they have in an upcoming release. I mean, we'll see, but they claim that they do have a fix. So it'd be nice to see. Yeah, they claim. But we'll see.
What I'll say is that between like GNOME and KDE, I'd pick GNOME. Just because I'll tell you this about KDE, the online account integration is just terrible. There's a bug I kept getting this bug.
Well, and their documentation isn't very good either.
Well, I found the bug report had a forum going all the way back to 2012.
Yeah.
And still no solution for it.
I love the online account integration, especially now that they added Google Cloud Print support to it. Because I was having a lot of problems with my network printer with drivers and such. And now that Google Cloud Print is just built into the desktop environment through the online account integration, I don't need to worry about the driver.
No, I don't use that. Now, is that what I called click and go? You just click a few clicks and just go, Matt?
Yeah, well, it's right. It's if you go to the online account section and go to Google, there's toggle switches on what you want to enable with that, and they added printers at the bottom of the list.
Yeah. Okay. That's all there is to it. Wow.
Stuff. And I got that printer. It's a network printer. It also supports Google Cloud Print.
Dummies proof.
So I was having all kinds of problems with drivers with Linux trying to communicate with that thing properly. But now that I can use Google Cloud Print in my desktop environment, it's all good.
That's an example of a newbie or a Windows user not having to say, why should I install Linux and pray some things will work? Well, it does. Maybe not everything, right? But it does. Now, okay, granted, maybe some printers may not be compatible. Fair enough. Graphics cards, fair enough. But that's a perfect example where click and go. That's the magic of Ubuntu in a way, or some Linux distros. Click and go, just like Windows.
That particular feature is a GNOME feature. That's
true.
I give GNOME credit with that.
Yeah.
Because most of GNOME's features do just work. Without.
If the GNOME guys could get the performance issues sorted out, this would be a fantastic desktop.
Well, you know what? We're gonna find out here in a month.
I remember a lot of people were complaining that they're dumbing it down, they're removing features, out of stuff. Well,
I didn't see it that way.
I was a little bit annoyed by that too.
I see it that way.
Managers, like in Grandpa Thunar and XFCE, You open up the archive manager, you have like 15 choices of different kind of archives you could use. In GNOME, you have 3. People were annoyed with that. People were annoyed that the features are disappearing, and I was a little bit too at first.
Yeah.
But then I realized that, well, actually, all of the features that they removed, it's not anything that I actually use anyway. So what am I complaining about? So
as long as there's a way to get those features back, then that's
there is.
okay.
There is. With the Grandpa Archive Manager, you can use the Nautilus Actions package, and you can add it in there. So
I think one of the issues is like the extensions they break on every update, like GNOME version. Like the developers have a hard time keeping up with the extensions, I think sometimes. And I think if Canonical is going to release like an Ubuntu GNOME as a national desktop, they're going to have to maintain their own extensions to make sure that they work.
Well, the panel and launcher they are.
Yeah,
it's the additional stuff on top of that, like GS Connect. It's GNOME implementation of KDE Connect. That where you could hook your phone up to it, pass files around, get if somebody messages you here, it pops up.
Nice. That's nice. Yeah.
It's a nice feature, but after this 18.2 update, it stopped working.
Oh, really?
To get it to work again.
I'm sure they know about it by now.
The extensions are a source of problem, but they don't crash. There's not as many problems as there used to be, though. It's better than it used to be.
Well, in their defense, I do run Arch with the testing repos enabled, so that might have been the issue.
Could have been.
Testing means testing.
This mixed match of extensions and breakages. In the earlier days of GNOME, it was a bit of an issue, but I haven't really had anything go wrong where I couldn't fix it in a long time.
Yeah. Even on Arch, I had pretty much better luck with GNOME than I did with KDE. Like aesthetically, I think KDE looks great. I like Qt better, like aesthetically better than GTK.
KDE's definitely got the eye candy.
But GTK just works, whereas a lot of the KDE apps I got to finagle with, I got to struggle with.
It also doesn't save all your stuff in KDE. A lot of things in KDE tend to get unsaved.
A lot of developers prefer the Qt languages, compared to GTK. A lot of developers prefer Qt, but I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I like the Plasma desktop. It looks great. I like the feature, but it doesn't ever work that well for me. It's
too much eye
glitchy.
candy, in my opinion. Yeah, I can't use it every day.
Really glitchy. I get a lot of screen tearing. I get a lot of graphical anomalies. It's just glitchy. If it wasn't glitchy, then I probably wouldn't have a problem with it.
I get a lot more bugs in KDE than I do with GNOME.
Yeah, so do I.
I really do.
Now, XFCE was my favorite desktop for a long time, but
I like XFCE. Yeah.
But what's happening is with GTK 3 coming out, and you get a lot of these applications with client-side decorations now running on XFCE. They don't look right. They look completely out of place. And a lot of the modern features that you have in GNOME, like online account integration, your default app types options, just the way everything integrates. It's a lot more modern and better implemented on GNOME as an XFCE. On XFCE, it's all like an afterthought.
Garbage.
I really liked XFCE, but it seems to be staying in one place while everything else around it is evolving, and it's just, it's XFCE need to have a new release. They need to bring it up to modern standards.
Yeah. Well, but that's kind of their purpose, though, isn't it? To keep it the same, to keep it stable, right?
It is, but when everything was still GTK2, no problem. But now with the implementation of GTK3 and client-side apps and all this other stuff,
yeah, true.
They kind of need to bring it up to that level.
Yeah,
because I noticed PAMAC didn't look right in Manjaro XFCE.
A lot of apps don't. Because of that GTK3 client-side stuff, a lot of apps just look wrong in XFCE now. If they brought XFCE up to that standard, and then they can put in, because the client-side decorations are hard-coded into the apps, but on some apps you can put the line in there. What is it? -cc minus false or something, and then you could put that in the code, and then it won't give you that. But some applications that are native to GNOME, like the System Monitor, the Events Document Viewer, those kinds of things, they're hard-coded into the app. And that's where Linux Mint X apps come into play. That's the whole reason they made those.
Well, but
So
wasn't XFCE working on a GTK3 version, or was that Mate that I heard?
it's XFCE is
one of them.
Is integrating GTK3.
Oh,
and it's
okay.
supposed to be fully GTK3 compliant in the next release, whenever the heck that's going to be.
Supposed to be.
Supposed to be.
We'll see.
We shall see.
But I mean, if I wasn't using GNOME, I would use XFCE. I have a lot of criticisms of it now with those issues, but you know, it used to be my preferred choice with GNOME being a second, but they've kind of switched places recently. So
I might go.
If GNOME stops working, I'll most likely be on XFCE.
I like Mate too, because I started using Ubuntu when it was GNOME too, so I'm kind of familiar with that.
Well, I did too. I started using it in 2006, roughly 8.04.
I was 2010. It was Ubuntu 10.4 was my first one, so like one of the last two releases of GNOME 2.
Out of all of throughout the years, I still to this day think the best version of Ubuntu is 9.04 Jaunty Jackalope. I still think that was the best one they ever did. So, but you know.
Anyway, I need to get off here, guys. Have a good night.
Take care.
See you, Ricky.
Good
night, Ricky.
All right, later.
I think their worst release was 11.4.
Probably, yeah.
That was when they first released Unity, and it was buggy.
I think that was my first experience on it, too, if I remember.
Well, if that's your first experience, if that's your first exposure to Ubuntu, then of course you hate it.
Yeah.
Wasn't the one that had the spyware lenses the worst one? Like 1404 or whatever it was?
Yeah, 804 Hardy Heron in the chat. That was the one I started using, the one that had the bird pattern on the wallpaper.
Mm-hmm.
It was good, but I think my favorite one was 9.04. I don't think they've had one as good since then. But
I think the 11.10 took Unity it was stabilized in 11.10.
No, for me, it's the little things that either put me on or off of a desktop. When they got rid of the smart auto hide of the side panel, I left Unity because I got used to it auto hiding and and doing IntelliHide.
Well, I dropped I dropped Ubuntu when I started finding like Amazon ads in the dash. I didn't like that, so I started distro hopping.
That turns me right off.
Well, the current Ubuntu still has the Amazon button, but it's only an affiliate link. It doesn't. That's all it is. It's just a tile for an affiliate link.
Because I don't know if they still do it, but I remember when the last version of Ubuntu that I really ran full time, you would hit the dash and I start searching for something. All of a sudden, I see these ads for Amazon right there in the dash.
Yeah. It's a feature that still exists, but it's disabled by default as of 16.
Good.
Yeah.
Because that would turn off a lot of customers, I think.
And in the GNOME desktop, I don't even think the search is in there. I think the button is nothing more than an affiliate link to Amazon.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
And that's fine. I'm fine with that. I don't have a problem with a distro putting in an affiliate link because they got I'm not giving them donations because I don't have donations to give them. So if they just have the affiliate links, I get stuff from Amazon. Oh, I'll just use their affiliate link. They'll get a little bit from it. Okay, fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But doing what they were doing originally.
Yeah.
I get it. They got to make money, but I mean that whole thing was what pushed me to distro hop until I landed on Arch.
Yeah. Well, Firefox is starting to kind of go down that road now because every couple of releases you hear this news story. Oh, they snuck in another ad or something, and it's like, really, again? So, but I don't know.
I'm trying to get used to Vivaldi. Kind of like it.
That's what I'm on right now for Hangouts.
I never liked Vivaldi because it was basically Microsoft Edge. It's the same person that developed that one also developed Vivaldi. So, they share development. And they were released at the exact same time.
The reason I don't use Vivaldi now is because I don't like how it behaves in my i3. Doesn't tile right. Doesn't window. I don't know what's wrong with it.
No, I like the Opera browser on Windows, but it doesn't seem to act right on Linux.
I use WaterFox on Linux. It works really good for me.
I like WaterFox. Oh, but tell me this, Dan. You use WaterFox a lot. When I try to punch in like a web address in the address bar, it won't like drop down the options or go to it until I hit the space bar after I'm done typing it. Do you have that issue too, or is that just me?
I don't think I have that issue. Most of my web addresses are addresses I've dug up on a search engine, or they've came out of my history or bookmarks thing. I very seldom directly type an address in the address bar. And I always got at least 3 or 4 YouTube tabs that are left open because I really don't power down my machine at night. I just suspend it. So the machine may go several weeks or even a month or two without even being powered down.
Yeah. Being that I run Arch, I try to reboot this one every time I see a kernel in the update, just to make sure nothing's broken.
Well, you know, with Ubuntu, you rarely get a kernel update unless you really want one.
Unless you really want. Well, yeah, you can always update it yourself.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier with the hardware enablement stack. If you're on an LTS and you go, like right now, if you download the ISO for 1804.2, you get kernel 4.18 and the new XOR. If you're already on a bunch of LTS and update it to 1804.2, you don't. You're still on 4.15. But if you use the hardware enablement stack and run those commands, it will upgrade to those new kernels.
Well, so far I found that as long as I don't have a Broadcom chip in my computer, there's no breakages with the kernel updates.
My laptop has a Broadcom chip, and the modules that were updated in 4.15, there was some security patch. I went from like 50 megs a second down to 4. It would not get above 4 megabits a second after that update. And the Bluetooth on my wife's Dell, which also is Broadcom, the Bluetooth daemon quit working. You would boot up and it would say Blue Z daemon not running. And I could add it to system D. I could force it. It would not work.
Oh, in Arch it was terrible. It was terrible in Arch. Every time there would be like a kernel update, the developers of the Broadcom drivers didn't patch it in time. And so what would happen is I get a kernel update on the Arch, reboot it, kernel panic.
Well, I found a fix for it using the I fixed it using the Broadcom-STA-DKMS package and then running a couple of commands to the modpro-WL or something. That would correct it. I wouldn't get my full speed. I get 100 megabit line here. I couldn't get the full speed. I would get maybe half of it, but it's better than 4. But then with the 18.04 release to Ubuntu, by running the hardware enablement stack and upgrading to kernel 4.18, that corrected the problem. So
I fixed the problem by not running Broadcom anymore.
That's the easiest thing to do, but
I just disabled it. I bought an external Wi-Fi card. I just gave up on the thing.
Yeah, it seems Broadcom is not really something you want to really have if you're going to be exclusively on Linux. It looks like a lot of people in my Discord server are starting to complain about NVIDIA now too. A lot of people are having NVIDIA problems. So
I haven't had an issue with it yet. I have the NVIDIA DKMS, but I have like the NVIDIA Optimus on my ThinkPad here. I haven't had any serious issues with it yet.
Well, in the case of Manjaro uses the latest Git build of XFCE, and it seems like in the latest build they're dropping Xrender for the GFX render, whatever it's called. And that's not working on NVIDIA cards. So,
so I'll be getting a Vega anyway.
So it's something that Manjaro's doing, not necessarily like Arch.
No, XFCE is doing it. Manjaro is just one of the first ones to release it. It's going to come to XFCE across the board. They're dropping Xrender. They're doing this to get rid of the screen tearing issues that a lot of people have in XFCE. They're doing it to fix that, but now it's not working with NVIDIA cards. So.
I'm looking at this link Sleepy sent me, It says people from all over the world are sending emails to Melbourne's trees.
I saw that. That was funny.
Let me read some of this here. My goodness. Hi, tree. You are just outside my work, and you make me happy. Keep growing and keep on treeing.
Mm-hmm.
See another one here. Babe, I am so sorry that you're sick. Can I climb you one last time? Strip down that bark for me. Oh my God. Okay. Okay. Dear smooth barked apple myrtle, I am your biggest admirer. I've always wanted to meet you, but tragically I'm stuck in New York. Okay. Too much of that stuff they're storing there in Australia, that Vegemite. You know, whatever. That's what. Probably too many veggie loads, man. Okay. Wow, a lot of emails here.
And of course, in the case of NVIDIA, you still have the Wayland compatibility issue too.
Well, I found another way to fix the Broadcom issue. At least with that was to I went instead of using Arch, I went Manjaro because they don't push the kernel updates through the regular updates. I was able to stay on the LTS and keep it working.
Here's another tree email. How's it going? I walk past you each day at the university. It's really great to see you out in the sun now that the scaffolding is down around Building 100. Hope it all goes well with the photosynthesis. All the best.
Well, God, I see DistroTube in the chat. He says his next machine will probably be all AMD. I'm already ahead of you.
There you go.
That's what I
That's how
did.
my machine is.
Exactly. I built mine.
Yeah.
My graphics card.
What was that?
The guy I'm getting the graphics card from, he said it was in the mail. It should be here in another. It's coming from Norway, so it takes about 2.5 weeks to get here. So
here's another tree email. How is life treating you? Ha ha.
Mm-hmm.
Hate to love and leave you, but I gotta go.
Oh
all right,
boy.
all right. Okay, they have a lot of fun in Australia there, Vince. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're snorting, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I can't find too many affordable laptops with AMD graphics and AMD base.
Yeah, with this, my current machine is a Core 2 Duo from 2008.
Wow.
So I'm due for an upgrade anyway. I mean, this computer will barely run anything, really.
I actually bought the same ThinkPad that Spatry has, the one that was donated to him or whatever, the W530.
That board over there in the corner by the floor.
W530. That sounds like an oil spray.
That's a 6-core AMD. It's overclocked 20%. So that with a graphics card I'm getting, I'll probably be in good shape.
Okay. Well, anyway, these are funny. Thank you, Vince, for that link. That was unusual, to say the least, in Australia. Emailing trees. Okay. All right, what time is it? We're going to wrap this up soon. All right, so the next Ubuntu show will be sometime this weekend during the day. Saturday or Sunday, I'm not sure yet. So, I'm not sure about the topic for that one. I do want to thank people for their mostly positive comments about the series. Ubuntu Show 5 may be the last one. Right now it is. I don't know if I'll continue those in the future, maybe as a podcast format. But it's just too many live shows to do on the weekends. It's just tiring. So, you know. So we'll see what happens. I put it out there. We'll see if Canonical or a venture capitalist or an investor wants to take hold of that idea, because the customers are out there waiting. You're welcome, Paul. Thank you for stopping by.
Was it just me, or did I hear Spatry say that he's going to have a Manjaro show going? So
He said something about
the
that.
M-Cole show.
Yeah.
We're going to have some competition, huh?
Well, we have to finish it first. With a lot of people are having problems with the new Grub 2 implementation that Manjaro's having. I mean, like.
Yes, I could see a Manjaro desktop in America. People all going to the Arch wiki for help. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. So me, Ben, and Spatry are trying to build a version of Manjaro that uses the SysLinux GFX boot that SUSE Linux uses. and what they used to use back in the day. That's what we're trying to do. We're not going to modify it apart from Manjaro. It's going to be stock Manjaro with IMCO branding and a different bootloader. That's it. That's what we're trying to build.
I'm trying to remember what the name of the bootloader I use. I think it's called System D Boot.
Yeah.
Specifically for EFI. I don't think it'll work with BIOS.
Well, there's a lot of people that are just not working. It's just not working with the way that Manjaro has their new setup, and most of those people are having no problems at all with pretty much every other Arch-based distro. It seems to only be a Manjaro problem.
Well, it sounds like the problem is with the Manjaro community. As much as I love Arch and I love Arch-based, I hate the elitism that comes with a lot of its community and users.
It does. I mean, I have the post in front of me now. I mean, this person here says, I loaded a crap ton of distros. Every single one of them worked except Manjaro. And he lists Intergos, Calculate, Linux Mint, Ubuntu, Debian, Solus, Deepin, Chaos, Kali, Arch, Savion, Fedora, all work. Grub, not working on Manjaro KDE, Manjaro Architect, Manjaro GNOME, Manjaro XFCE. So it
sounds like Manjaro should be at the symphony. Look at the Manjaro Symphony with Beethoven's Fifth.
This forum post is 92 pages long of all people having the same problem.
Wow.
And if you look at the download numbers from Manjaro, if you go back to 1701, I think, right before it changed over to the new bootloader, that particular one is getting a lot of downloads still. So that would indicate that even more people than what is being shown here are having this problem.
Well, but is one able to roll back the grub package or the grub version that on Arch?
They didn't use grub at all before this problem started. They were using the sys/GFX bootloader. When they moved over to grub, they had their own custom profiles and stuff, and they just broke it, and they have never fixed it. So the same problem is in Seduction Linux. Seduction and Manjaro are the two ones, but they share code. So I didn't know. But we want to fix it. So, but it's funny because if we fix it, then IMCO might have a version 19 release out before Manjaro does. That'd be fun.
Well, but I think Manjaro has a lot of potential too, but they got to pull their heads out of where.
I know that's my opinion too.
Pull it out of the AUR.
Manjaro is my favorite distro once upon a time, but it isn't anymore, and I put every bit of the blame on the developers. I don't know if you remember an incident back in 2014 when almost all of developers left because of some kind of disagreement with Phil. I don't know if you guys remember that, but
it's all Phil Mueller's fault.
Wow.
But I do. They had some big disagreement.
A walkout.
It was on Phoronix.
A walkout on Linux. Wow, of all the things.
It was on Phoronix's website. This happened in 2014, and almost all of the developers just walked away.
Phoronix is awesome.
I mean, you got to remember they already have their line of netbooks, in Europe anyway, and so I mean they have potential too. But I mean.
The developers just don't care about the smaller potatoes people like me that are trying to install it on a 10-year-old computer. They just don't care about that. They want to make sure it runs on new computers and their netbook, whatever they're calling it.
Yeah.
That's where their focus is, and when people like me show up, say, hey, it's not working for me. Yeah, I don't care. Go away.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the response you get. And that's why Spatry and me and Ben want to do this other build, so people that are on old hardware, like me, can still use it without, that's the whole purpose of it. So hopefully,
so it seems to only affect older hardware then.
BIOS, it seems to be a BIOS only machine issue.
Oh, okay.
But it seems like every computer that's BIOS only is having some sort of grub issue. Not all of them, but a lot of them, especially HPs. It seems like all the people that are reporting the bugs, the majority of them have HPs. So
yeah, it definitely seems to me like Arch-based distros seem to want to focus all their attention on the newer machines.
Yeah, but we know how to get it to work, and so
Okay.
we're going to try to do it.
I mean, they dropped 32-bit support before I think anybody else did.
Yeah,
gentlemen, let's wrap this up here in about 5 minutes. I'm starting to get a little tired. I do want to thank everybody for stopping by. Let's wrap this up with a little bit of nonsense news I have here. Again, the Ubuntu Show 5 this weekend, Saturday. So that'll be a public one. Everyone is invited.
I'm
then
gonna
after
need
that,
to hop off because I gotta go to work in the morning.
all right, Dan. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah.
Oh, man, what's that?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, thanks, guys.
All right.
Night, Dan.
All
Good
right,
night.
let's see what we have here off the news. This is from the UPI. Police seize a tractor caught drag racing motorcycles. I like to know what's in the tractor, or was the driver? Anyway, okay.
Did the tractor win?
This was in Britain. Hey, that's where Ubuntu's from. Maybe we can ask, Alan Pope next time. I don't know. Let's see what else we have here. Police break into art gallery after mistaking dummy for corpse. What an awful thing to call an arch user. Come on, man. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Let's see what else we have here. Police seize cocaine disguised as Lunchables in Ohio. Wow. The Ohio State Highway Patrol said 2 Florida men are facing charges after they are found to be transporting more than 4 pounds of the stuff disguised as Lunchables.
Well, maybe they figured nobody's going to eat those things anyway, so they won't know.
Yeah, right, because they right, yeah. Wow.
I know people that do, unfortunately.
My goodness.
I like the nacho ones. There's nothing wrong with the nacho.
Okay, all right, okay, fair enough.
They're not challenging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dog's head gets stuck in wall hole for a dryer vent. Maybe the dog was just venting his frustration on the owner.
He was barking up the wrong hole.
That's bada bing, bada boom. Yeah. Australian couple, see Vince? Australian couple harvest human-sized cabbage. Wow. That's a lot of cabbage.
I know some humans that smell like
cabbage.
What you mean? Because there wasn't enough cabbage in the world already?
I don't know. It looks kind of cool actually looking at the picture. To look it up, it's okay. Well, that's one way to eat healthy. Let's see here. Couple holds wedding in Walmart flower department.
Okay.
Oranges in aisle 4, weddings in aisle 5. There you go. Man and a horse escorted out of supermarket.
Okay.
There's a joke there, but I won't go there. Let's see here. Bloody hand fished out of British Canal was mannequin limb. Okay. All right. This is also in Britain. What is going on there? Man clings to windshield wiper for free tram ride. Oh, God.
Oh, brother.
Oh, man. Well, he's lucky that the tram didn't wipe his butt all over the tracks, yeah.
I've heard of freeloaders, but this is ridiculous.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's a wiper loader, yeah. Let's see what else we have here. I don't know. I guess he had to get somewhere fast. A stolen monkey returned to Florida Zoo in good health. Why would somebody want to steal a monkey? I guess they were monkeying around, yeah. Let's see here. Marijuana smokers find tiger in vacant Houston home. Did they really find the tiger, or was it the smoke? All right, yeah. Just a thought.
Or did the tiger find them?
That's right. Driver doing donuts blocks traffic on Tennessee highway. Not too smart.
Nope, not at all.
No. Let's see. Anything else here? No. Let's go.
You never done donuts in the middle of a busy road before?
I have not. No.
I thought we've all done that at least once.
No. Done it on back roads when nobody was watching. We thought.
Then the
Surprise!
cop showed up.
Listen, boys. He was driving. It was him. It was him. Yeah, it was him. Yeah. Okay, let's see here. Man's car was stolen while he was asleep in the back seat. Ouch. Ooh. Guess he wasn't a backseat driver. Haha. Anything else here? Chicago has moved. Here you go, Steve. Chicago has moved 4,762 cars this winter without telling owners. Is it a Chicago thing?
Yes, it is.
Wow. Okay. No warnings, no signs, no alerts, no permission. They just move the cars.
The Lincoln Park Pirates, Lincoln Park Towing, are renowned.
Okay. All right. I think I mentioned this before. Is it stealing if the thief returns the car every night?
I mean, technically yes, but if they don't even notice, then
Well, but if he's not filling it with gas, he's at least stealing their gasoline.
I guess.
True.
Yeah.
But hey, if he pays for the gas to get refilled, then that's good. A good reimbursement, I suppose.
You don't get your miles back though.
That's right. Yeah.
No.
So I guess technically it's stealing. Yes. If you don't ask permission, it's stealing.
Mm-hmm.
That's more of a religious. Tom, you're the religious. Is that stealing technically? The Bible, "Thou shalt not steal."
That phrase or the car?
Well, I'm trying to tie both together.
The expression "Thou shalt not steal." Yes, that's
stealing.
So is it stealing the car? Yeah. Technically, to get super technical, it would be like borrowing without asking, which may or may not be different. It depends on if
which is stealing.
Not necessarily. It depends if it makes it back at the end of the day. If you because it makes a difference. Because if you took it without asking and then crashed it or something happened to it, now we are in a situation of stealing. But if you take it and then you return it, the gas thing applies.
Okay, I didn't know that the Ten Commandments had fine print at the bottom too. But okay,
it's in the concept. Well, the fine print is the rest of Leviticus. Most people fall asleep when trying to read it.
well, the fine print is humanity, right? Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Not so fast. Germans sharply divided over Autobahn speed limits. It's go too fast, Bill. Okay. I guess they're sharply divided.
Wasn't the point of the Autobahn to not have speed limits?
Well, the Autobahn does have speed limits. It's just limitless in certain sections.
Oh, okay.
The whole thing isn't not regulated.
It's limitless between there's no cops looking for you. That's where it's limitless, right? Let's see here.
There's certain stretches of it that don't have a speed limit, but there are speed limits at certain spots.
Yeah.
So it's not a free for all like some people think it is.
That's the impression people get, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the impression I had till now.
Right. Autobahn. Let's see here. Alleged theft at cop station goes as well as you'd expect. Okay.
Well, allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah. Mm-hmm. Attempted robbery runs out of gas. Oops.
They should have robbed a gas station instead.
Hey, Paulie, I thought you got the freaking gas. No, I thought it was you, Johnny. Oh, okay, yeah. All right. As they're arguing in jail, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Anything else here? Here's a headline: Why you don't bring cocaine to your court hearing?
I can think of a few good reasons.
I guess he was trying to pay his court costs with it. I don't know. Suspect hiding from cops calls 911 for rescue. Okay, good one. Oh my. All right, let's see what else do we have here and we'll wrap it up. I might do a good morning Ubuntu tomorrow since I don't have to do anything much tomorrow. Let me see here. Doctor appointment at 3, but that's later on in the afternoon. Let's see here. No, nothing there. Let's see. I actually clicked on religious jokes. Let's see if any of these are any good or short. A man is talking to God. God, how long is 1,000,000 years? God answers, to me it's about a minute. God, how much is $1,000,000? To me it's a penny. God, may I have a penny?
In a minute.
Bada bing.
Do you guys know that baseball was the first sport? It's in the Bible.
Yeah, it's in the beginning.
Yeah.
The beginning, got any of that.
Hitting things with sticks, and sounds like probably the first pastime.
Tom, this one's for you. What do you call a baptized Mexican?
Baptized Mexican. Oh, I don't know.
Answer: bean dip.
Oh.
That's not me. It's on the web.
Better win your monetization.
I know, really. That's someone online. That was from anonymous. Oh no,
Demonetized.
Yeah.
Demonetized.
Your mama is so ugly. When the devil saw her, he started praying. Oh,
whoa, that's me.
That is me. I bet it ain't me. Ouch.
Yikos.
They are religious jokes. I will give them that. Anything else here?
Know what kind of religion it was.
Yeah, really.
Why didn't anybody want to play cards on Noah's Ark?
Know what's that on the deck?
Yeah.
All right, how much weight does an evangelist have with God? 1 Billy Graham.
Oh,
this is a good one. This is a good one, Tom. What kind of car does Jesus drive?
Maserati?
A Chrysler.
Oh,
good one. I like that.
No. He drove a Honda. Because remember, he and his disciples, they were all of one accord. A
Sunday school teacher asked her children on the way to service, "Why is it necessary to be quiet in church?" The little girl replied, "Because people are sleeping." I like that one.
Oh boy.
Anything else? You like that one, huh?
That's kind of like
that's funny.
There was this pastor is getting a ride from this taxi driver in New York, right? And they get into this bad crash, and they all die, and they get up there and going up into the pearly gates, and taxi driver goes up to St. Peter and tells him his name, and looks the list. Oh yeah, there you are. And he gives him a silk robe and a golden staff, right? And so he goes in, and the pastor's like, "Man, this is epic." So he goes in there, he tells him what his name is, and he says, "Yep, here you are." He's like, "Here's your cloth robe and your wooden staff." He says, "I'm sorry, Peter, but the taxi driver got the silk and the gold, and I got the cloth and the wood. What's going on here?" He says, "Well, up here in heaven, we're all about results. When you're in church preaching, people are sleeping. When he's driving, people are praying."
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, 2 more, then I'm done. Why wasn't Jesus born in Australia? God couldn't find 3 wise men and a virgin. Again, these are not mine, folks. Okay.
Sitting sleepy went to pick up his daughters.
Yeah, really. Why are atoms Catholic? Because they have mass. Okay, what do you want for clean? Okay. Hey.
All right. So when was the first tennis game played? When Joseph served in Pharaoh's court.
Aha.
Nice.
2 blondes walking into a tanning salon. The receptionist asks, "Are you 2 sisters?" They chuckle and reply, "No, we aren't even Catholics." Okay, all right. Well, on that note, a lot of jokes here, and maybe we'll save this for next time. All right. Well, let's get to wrap this up for this evening. Again, thank you everybody for stopping by. So this was always a blast. Again, the next Ubuntu show this weekend, Saturday or Sunday, to be an open public one for that one. Don't know the topic yet, and then we'll go from there. Like I said, I might do something tomorrow morning or afternoon for Ubuntu users. Depends what time I wake up. Thank you everybody in the chat. Bye bye, Jan from Mexico. Jan Topper from Mexico. Love that name. Is Ubuntu big in Mexico, Jan? Or is Linux even used? Do they even know what Linux is in Mexico?
It's a global thing. They might.
Well, and Tarragos is from Spain.
Yeah, I think Linux is pretty popular, like abroad in other countries.
Yeah.
It is.
Like, didn't the German government use Ubuntu for like a while, or some other distro?
They try to, yeah.
Yeah, Microsoft wooed them back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget who it was. There was a police department, maybe it was in South America. This is a while back, that used Linux on their systems too. But it seems to be more popular, like abroad, in other countries.
Well, that's because Microsoft almost has a monopoly here.
Yeah. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'll catch you on the next one. Have a good night. Ciao.
All right.
We'll see ya.
Thanks, guys.
Night.
All right.
Thanks.
Good night.
Night, guys.
Good night.